Trusted Reviews. What do? The name says it all. They provide tech news and reviews that you can trust. Tonight I have the pleasure of speaking with Managing Director of Trusted Reviews, Chris Dicker.
Coming to you live from the virtual WordPress theatre, this is the XWP Tonight Show.
Chris, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. What time is it over there in London?
Currently, it is 8:39 in the morning. So I've literally just done breakfast for my 18-month-old son, and thankfully, I don't think I've got any of it on my shirt.
And that is why on the XWP Tonight Show, we are all sitting together at the virtual WordPress theatre. Chris, to begin, you're the managing director and an executive board member, but prior to Trusted Reviews, you spent a long time at another well-known publisher. Can you please tell us a bit about your journey?
Previous to my role now, I spent 16 years at a company called TI Media. However, people probably know it a bit better for either being known as either IPC Media or Time Inc. UK, so the UK arm of Time Inc. I then kind of moved across to become MD of Trusted Reviews and at a very interesting time, as that was about 6 months before Future Publishing approached to buy TI Media. And then as part of that deal, the CMA ruled that obviously Trusted Reviews wouldn't be allowed to go off as part of that sale. So that's kind of left us to kind of where we are now, really, kind of being interviewed on the Tonight Show of all places. So yeah, you know, so that's kind of where we are.
Yeah, that's quite a journey. I got to say, you know, for Trusted Reviews, trust is in your company's name. It's a big part of your business. How have you gained your users' trust over the last 2 decades?
I think trust is a very hard thing, especially in the reviews side of things, because there's been a whole load of negative press kind of around fake reviews and things like that, where people can go online and kind of buy reviews off numerous platforms. However, what kind of sets us apart is that we thoroughly test every single product that we review. So our reviews are kind of all product-led. So we get the product in and we put it through a very strict testing process. So whether that's a mobile phone or a vacuum cleaner, there's test data that we kind of compile on each and every one of those products. So ultimately we kind of put them to the test to decide if they're kind of any good or not, and that way kind of saves people ultimately the hassle of potentially buying a dud product. So yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, you know, that's really interesting because, you know, when you're trying to decide between, you know, one phone or another or different laptop brands, you just want to ask someone you can trust, like a friend, someone who's tested it out. And that's really what Trusted Reviews is. With regards to your website, when we first engaged, the Trusted Reviews website wasn't scoring too well with Google Core Web Vitals. Did you notice any negative effects to the business due to that performance dip?
Absolutely, yeah. So we'd previously been hit by kind of numerous core Google updates, which for anyone working in the digital publishing or as he knows, can be completely detrimental. And it's one of those days when it kind of ripples through that there's an update being rolled out that it gets everyone kind of all tense, wondering, you know, what's going to happen. But yeah, we have been hit a couple of times from a Google Updates perspective, which wasn't great. I think we were in quite a tough place previously, where being part of a large organization, there's a lot of red tape as such, and to move kind of takes a lot longer than normal. So I think that the positive side of things from not being part of a massive organization is that we can ultimately move like a startup. So we're a well-established brand, but being able to move like a startup, so it makes things moving forward a lot easier.
Like when I spoke with the XWP engineers, we were able to improve the performance on Google PageSpeed Index from 28 to a 98. That's a massive improvement, and we're really proud of that. What do you expect will be some of the benefits of this to the Trusted Reviews website?
It's been an absolutely fantastic result, and real credit to the team, really. You know, I think 28 was actually a little bit generous for us, I think, to begin with. but yeah, it's been a great result. We'd obviously like to see kind of an increase in traffic off the back of that, and in turn, kind of revenue. However, kind of we understand that it takes time for Google to kind of recognize kind of the big changes that sites make. So that's one to look forward for this year. But the other interesting thing is that we're actually already starting to see some positive feedback from actually our users, saying they're actually recognizing an update or some sort of update to the site, so they're experiencing a faster experience. So it was only the other night we conducted a focus group session, and some of the people on there said, yeah, have you done something to the site, because it seems a lot quicker on my mobile and stuff now? And I was like, well, believe it or not, yes, we have. We have been doing some stuff behind the scenes. So yeah, it's nice when that gets noticed, because obviously you realize that you're on the right path, and ultimately, better user experience is always a good thing.
And now that your site is lightning fast, how do you plan to keep it that way?
I think that's one of the hardest things. So one of the things we've looked to do is to incorporate in a kind of a performance budget and a process to look at that. So whenever there's a new piece of code that potentially needs to be deployed onto the site, we kind of run it through checks now to kind of see what impact that will have on the site. And then we can decide actually whether that's worth the performance hit. So kind of, I know you have people approach you saying, oh, there's no performance impact of our code at all. It's absolutely fine. But ultimately, that there's always, no matter how small it is, there's always some sort of impact. So I think the key thing is you've just got to be really careful that you don't get into a trap of going, yep, that's great. Oh, there's only a tiny increase there. Oh, there's only a tiny increase there. And before you know it, all those tiny increases kind of add up to the point where you'll then start seeing your overall performance drop down. So that's something that we're going to be very careful of going forward.
That's great. And what's that sound? Let's put these questions away. It's time for our lightning round. So for that, Chris, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I need you to answer that as fast as you can, and I'm going to seek your trusted review. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Search engine, Bing or Google?
I'm going to say Bing.
Oh. Speakers, JBL or Beats?
JBL.
Okay. Browser, Chrome or Safari?
These are tough ones, because it's whether or not I want to say my personal preference or ones that I'd like other people to use. So I would say I'm going to go for the underdog. I'll go Firefox.
All right. Best Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life or Die Hard?
Die Hard.
Good.
Definitely.
Soft drink, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
All right. iPhone or crappy Samsung? No bias there for me, no bias.
Personally, I'm an iPhone user.
All right. CD or vinyl?
CD.
All right. Batman or Superman?
I'm going to go Batman.
Correct. Yes. And finally, XWP or other WordPress agencies?
It's a real tough one. No. XWP.
Correct answer. That was all correct. Well done, Chris. Chris, thank you so much for joining us on the XWP Tonight Show. Thank you for being an awesome customer. We greatly appreciate our engagement and our long-term partnership together.
No problem at all. Thanks for having us, and thanks for all your hard work.
Thanks everyone for joining us and watching the show. We'll see you next time.